Virtual real estate is booming. Why are people buying? Is it speculation or a vision for the future? We discuss this as well as adoption, and if you stay till the end, I'll tell you the realities of whether this is actually happening and what it's going to take to happen. But first, I want to say welcome back to How About That Crypto. I'm your host, Bitcoin Stylist on Twitter and Bitcoin Hairstylist on Instagram. I'm currently running a pilot and asking for feedback on this show, as well as comments, likes, and subscribes. It really helps support me. You're watching your daily crypto updates and news in 10 minutes. Our mission at howaboutthatcrypto.com is simplifying and making more accessible the world of crypto, Web3, and digital assets. All right, and just to be clear and litigious, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So please like, comment, subscribe, click on the link in the link tree, go to the YouTube channel. It helps really support me and it means a lot. All right. So today's edition of your Bitcoin Stylist Updates on howaboutthatcrypto.com is virtual real estate boom, utility, and the metaverse. All right, just to recap, yesterday we touched on understanding utility and the boom in sales. Wall Street Journal has done quite a few articles on this, and so basically people are buying land is being purchased for the purpose of building stores for people to buy virtual goods for their home or for their avatar. If you don't know how to create your own design, like if you're not a 3D rendering like graphic artist, then you're going to need to pay somebody to do that. And so the stores are built by gamers basically, and accounting firms are building out their out spaces to take customers as well. They can be visited for, these spaces can be visited for entertainment purposes, for business services, financial services, and even legal services. And when people are buying crypto, they're saying that they're protected from the swings in the underlying, when they're buying land in the NFT, when they're buying land in the metaverse, they are protected from the swings in the crypto. So the value of their land doesn't necessarily fluctuate with the underlying cryptocurrency that was used to buy it. So some more information from from yesterday. Tokens.com, which is a publicly traded company, is building an 18-story skyscraper in Decentraland and wants to lease it to lawyers and crypto exchanges, and they can use it for events and advertising. And they're also building a Rodeo Drive where people can shop for these goods. One of the interesting things was gallery openings, or you can attend a gallery and you can see NFT, like digital artwork, if you've seen some of the craze around that. Some of the most popular pieces are likely to retain value. The rest, I don't know, so beware. I'm not an NFT trader, full disclosure. And I also mentioned, when you're thinking about adoption, you're thinking about how much screen time you and your children have, and ask yourself, what are they doing on this screen? Well, they're already basically in metaverse adoption. Like their activities are already conducive to the development and build out of the metaverse. Moving on. So Republican Realm, which is an investment firm, paid $4.3 million for Atari, and they're building. They're partnering with them to develop games and experiences. And there's also like a $2.5 million purchase. So I just put that in there just so that you all know there's a lot of money going into this space. All right, so now we're going to start talking more about utility and adoption. In another article, the Wall Street Journal says NFTs spur digital land grab. Primarily adoption is from video games and video gamers, and gamers already spend a lot of money on in-game purchases. Okay, so the purpose of this right now is for you to understand the why behind the virtual land grab. And it's really important to understand utility and utility and adoption, meaning who is using it and why, and what are the potential uses for it, because that'll give you the understanding of the underlying value. So gamers already spend a lot of money in game purchases. According to Statista.com, $54 billion US dollars were spent in 2020 on global in-game purchases. And it's estimated to grow by 50% to over 70 billion by 2025, which is 3 years from now. So you're like, what is this? Wait, so the metaverse is already here? Yes, that's kind of like one of the big things that everyone needs to understand. The metaverse is already here. Now, the metaverse, what is it going to become? I don't know. Just like we don't know, we never knew like what the internet would become or with social media and stuff. But to give you an idea, for anybody who has children or is into video games or even pays attention to tech, you might have heard some of these names. Fortnite, Minecraft, World of Warcraft, Roblox, Second Life, all those are already metaverses. They're already places where people can get on a video game console. You don't have to have the goggles, which I'm going to get into in a second. You can just be right on your phone and you can play video games. You can like team up with like headsets and like hang out with your friends in these worlds or like complete missions together or whatever you want. A lot of people just go and hang out and explore the world and have fun creating stuff. Gamers now can and will more so be able to so that's already happening. So when you think about how does like the whole crypto and blockchain kind of thing come in together, well, once the games start integrating this blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and as new games come online and these other crypto blockchain metaverses, then gamers will be able to trade their assets amongst each other. So like, you know, here's my whatever. I mean, most of it's going to be like weapons or keys or passwords or things to help you beat a level, and so they could trade it amongst each other. They can move them from one world to the other, and so there's going to be some sort of interoperability between the different games. It's already happening in the games. It's just not that the people can't like monetize it. So like you buy something in the game, like a skin to like make you look a certain way. You can move it from one world to the next, but you can't sell it. So it's like, is it really yours? That's kind of where the crypto stuff comes in. Anyway, moving on. Each lot of land can host a different game. So like when people are like talking about they're buying all these little squares, they can that's actually like a certain size space where they can put a certain amount of information in, and like and like it'll have boundaries. It'll basically be a game within a game. So users can kind of move around from one game to the next, or meet in like a central park or something, or a cafe in the metaverse and say, hey, where are we going to go now? Now, this does require mainstream adoption for this thing to get going. So now we're going to talk about adoption and timeline expectations. Okay, so helping with mainstream adoption, Wall Street Journal reports an accounting firm scoop up virtual land in the metaverse. I've talked about this briefly before. The metaverse offers new possibilities for organizations to create value through innovative business models, as well as introducing new ways to engage with their customers and communities. According to William Gee, a partner at PricewaterhouseCoopers Hong Kong, they purchased a big lot of land in December so they can start taking clients in the metaverse. Prager Metis, I think I said that right, is another accounting firm. They advise companies and individuals on tax and accounting issues in entertainment and fashion. And Mr. Friedman of Prager Metis says, if the metaverse is going to be to replace the internet, then certainly businesses are going to use it. So people are thinking that this is the next phase of the internet where people will be able to interact. Now we're going to get into like utility. We're going to get more and more real about like some of the realities. That's all the fun stuff. Now we're going to get into some of the realities. China's largest gaming company, Tencent, it's the largest gaming company in the world, invested heavily into the metaverse with large acquisitions in process, and it's all about hardware. And Tencent says that lead time is longer than demand. So it's going to take longer than most people want it to for a metaverse that is virtual or augmented, but you can already go into a metaverse through your phone, and that's more like the adoption, which brings me to my last final story and point. Monies YouTube Channel reports on Bill Gates, Microsoft versus Meta or Facebook, and Bill Gates is saying that there is no metaverse through VR. There's like the amount of people that have adopted VR goggles and want to wear VR goggles is super small compared to the people who want to interact with other people through their phone. So Facebook's going through VR headsets, which brings into question like how successful are they going to be, considering people haven't adopted the uses of those goggles. But Microsoft is going the different direction. They're going saying, hey, what devices are people using? We're going to create a metaverse that way, and then over time we could develop into having more and more functionality, which makes a lot of sense. And so some of the use cases that they talked about in this video, which was interesting: education, access for people across the world, anything that has 3D rendering. A video shows like someone going through and like a body and like being able to open it up, and kind of like in Iron Man where what's his name? Iron Man. Shit, I can't. Robert Downey Jr. He's like has like at his lab, he's able to like look at the machine and pull it apart. That technology already exists. So anything like that could be applied in the metaverse, but it can be centralized so people all around the world can have access to better and lower cost education in things like medicine and architecture, design, anything like that. All right, so what do you think about all of this? Do you think it's promising, or you just think it's a bunch of nerds pretending that they can do reality better? Or maybe it is an evolution of the internet called Web 3, which we'll talk about more tomorrow, and maybe it is underway. Maybe we went from sending emails to sending money to communicating through video, just like I am now, which is a natural evolution from Web 1 to Web 2, and so like this whole Web 3 is just kind of opening up more. So speculators are everywhere, so focus on the details. What are the network effects? What are the technology? What is the adoption? Think utility, hardware, and practicality. All right, I ran a little over today, but that was a big one. I'll start going into Web 3 tomorrow, and yeah, so give me feedback. Please comment below. Please click on the YouTube channel link and please subscribe. It really helps support me, and I really appreciate it. Huddle on. Have a good day.